a great day to be a Rebel. Wow. I'm so excited for our program, these ladies, the community of Oxford. It's been electric here, but first I want to say to North Carolina, they put up a fight. Man, what a great team they've had. Coach Papa has done an unbelievable job. Hall of Fame coach. She had those kids prepared. But we're just excited here in Oxford, not only to host, but to win it here and have a shot at getting to the College World Series. We're just 2 games away from playing in Oklahoma City. Who would have thought 3 years ago this is where we'd be? Hotty toddy.
I was definitely a little nervous when I found out that I was DP, but I knew first at bat was obviously a little rough. After that, I decided that, you know, I only have so many opportunities and I need to make the most of them. Pardon? You know, I was just looking for a pitch to hit, so honestly I just swung it strike, and it was inside pitch, and I just took the most of it.
Actually, we've talked about in these press conferences about the hot hand, and Brittany's actually been swinging the bat pretty good. I know batting practice, when we've had practice, Dylan was struggling a little bit, and the coaching staff met and said, who's going to give us the best opportunity when we need it? And we felt like it was Brittany today, and we knew she was going to be ready. She's been part of the big time. I mean, she was at Oklahoma last year, so she knows what it's like to play on this stage. She's got nerves of steel. She said she was nervous. I couldn't tell, but she's got nerves of steel, and I'm so happy for her. I know that it's kind of been an up and down year. She trusted us in the process, and I'm thankful that she's wearing the red and blue. Honestly, I think it was the electricity of our crowd. I just really think it took our players to another level. You know, I think that they were kind of trying to feel around the pitcher. We haven't faced a lefty like that in a while that really came hard in, even though we faced Gorley for Florida. Totally different type of pitcher, not as hard throwing, didn't really come on your hands as much as this one did. So we just tried to get our right-handers to back off the plate a little bit, and our lefties not to swing at that inside pitch and just to attack that outside ball. And again, this is a game of adjustments. I think that's what happened last night. When we played Arizona State, we made adjustments late and we won, and our players did a great job with making adjustments late in the ball game. But again, it's part of our process this entire year. We've been students of the game. We've stayed the course. We've trusted the process. And I know it sounds cliche, but that's just verbiage that we talk about on a daily basis.
Last year definitely prepared me for this moment because, like Coach has said, I've been in this situation. I've been to the World Series. I didn't get the opportunities to play last year, but I knew the energy and the fight it was going to take, and I can definitely see that in this team.
Absolutely. That's kind of actually what I told the team going out into the 3rd inning. Let's take that momentum back. I think the first 2 innings, we just had low energy. It wasn't ourselves, and myself, same thing. I know it was the 2nd inning, I think I struck a girl out, and I don't think I was expecting her to swing and miss, so it kind of caught me off guard, and it took me a minute to get my fist pump, and that don't normally happen. So I knew something right there was a little shaky. So I went and I sat in the dugout, and Coach T came up to me and she told me, she said, I know you're tired, I know you're exhausted, but they're feeding off of you. You know, whatever it is, she said, you're doing something a little different out there on the mound, and they're feeding off of it. She said, you're doing a great job pitching. They're not hitting the ball hard. They're just being scrappy, and they're getting those runs. She said, but just know that they're feeding off of you, and I need that energy from you. So from then on, I tried my best, whether it was faking it till I made it or whatever it was. You know, I did my best to pick them up, and I think it really, really helped. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
We enjoy that, though.
Yeah,
what I told them is that
nice.
We are experienced in that. We love that. We are. If there's anything I love more, it's being behind and us being like that in the dugout. That was one of the funnest games I've had in probably the past 12 games, and we love that.
Again, just like our SEC tournament championship, we're gonna relish this. Again, it's another program first. We get to do it at home, so we don't have to travel and just celebrate with ourselves. But we get to celebrate with family and friends and the fans. But we're going to take today and probably tomorrow. The girls have tomorrow off. They're going to relax a little bit. And then we're going to come back on Tuesday and prepare. We don't know if we're playing a Thursday, Friday, Saturday Super or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we may be hopping on a plane. We may never be practicing here again. So we don't know that. I'm sure we'll know by the end of the night or tomorrow morning. But we're just going to relish what we have. These don't come around often. I know it's going to happen a lot in the future, but you have to take it for what it's worth right now, and we're gonna enjoy it the time that we have. I can't say enough about our fans. What Rebel Nation did for us, with us this weekend. I mean, they were with us. I've been to a lot of our baseball games where we have 9,000 fans. The electricity that was in here. I talked to Mark from the baseball team, and he said, "How is it?" And I said, "Man, if this is what it's like in front of these fans, I want that every time." That's what they have. You know, they have the 9,000 there. So it's just exciting. It's exciting that our fans were able to experience this. They've never been able to do this with softball. And so I think we've gained a lot of fans across the country, as well as our community, surrounding areas. We're the Cinderella story. You know, we're going to be wearing the glass slipper. We're 2 games away from playing in Oklahoma City. That is unbelievable. Really, no, there was nothing different. I think it was the same old, same old. You know, we've kind of taken the whole, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think our practice was the same. I don't think we did really anything different. In fact, the only difference was we had more practices than we've had really in the last month and a half. I think we had 2 or 3 straight days of practice, which hasn't happened before. So it was really just trying to come up with a practice plan to keep us sharp. And really that's what it was. But we prepared the same. We weren't out here as long. We kind of got in, got out, got our work, got our reps in, and just, you know, had them enjoy the moment. You know, the toughest thing for a coach is when school's out is so much free time. And so we trusted them to stay the course, and they did exactly what we've asked them to do. But that's what they've done all year.
Early on in the game, you know, she was sharp the whole game. I really believe that. But I think our mentality and our approach changed. I know mine did for sure. It went from, I felt I was more passive in my first at-bat, and my later at-bats I was definitely more aggressive, just thinking, you know, find a pitch to hit and see what you can do with it, no matter if it's a hard line drive, a ground ball, or whatever it is, just going up there and being the aggressor. No, there's definitely no comparison. Is all the firsts and all the history this program is making and all the strides. It's so humbling to be able to be a part of this program. It really is. It's so very, very nice to be able to wear these colors and to play for coaches like this and with a team like this. It's so, there's no words to describe the feeling that I'm feeling with all these firsts and the strides that this team is making. And I know the team is so excited to be able to make these firsts and go to regionals and now go to a super. And it's just, there's no words to describe it.
I think it hits me every night. I kind of sit down and I like to watch. I like to rewatch our games, and I'm thinking, my goodness, like, is this real? You know, are we really experiencing this? And who really thought that we would do this right here, right now? I mean, from the day that I stepped here, it was our goal to host a regional, and now we got to host a regional. Now we're going to a supers, and our goal is to win that thing and go and play with the best of the best once again. And I think we can hang with the big dogs. So I think it's just awesome.
Miranda's stayed the course. She's gotten frustrated at times. That kid is resilient. I'm so proud of her and Courtney both. What they've meant to this team, to this program, to this community, will be missed sorely as they graduate. But she's still got at least 2 games left. I think she's really swinging the bat probably better than she has the entire year. And I'm excited and happy for her. In fact, in that last at bat, they call the timeout. She goes, "Coach, I got this. I'm going to get a hit right here." And when your players can look you in the eye and tell you that, you feel really good. Caitlin did the same thing. I grabbed her by both shoulders and said, "Kate, you got it. You're going to take us to the promised land." And she said, "Coach, I got it."
He's tricking y'all, really. He said, "You need to sit down. You need to sit
Well,
down."
I do
finish
say that
innings.
too. I say
Save
relax
your
a
energy.
little
I
bit.
said, "We only got 3 more innings left, and I got so much energy. Hush." And then I said, "Trust me." Then he calmed down.
She's our catalyst. When she goes, we go. And if it's not her, really, Becker. I don't think there's a better 1-2 combination in the country than those two at the top of any lineup. I mean, they are potent no matter what they do. And even if Elantra doesn't get on, Becker's going to set the table for whoever's behind her. So Elantra had an unbelievable year. I think she kind of felt a little slighted after the all-conference voting. But it is what it is. She kind of had an up and down conference, but man, she shined in the conference tournament, and she shined here, and that's the Elantra that's been in this program for 3 years, and I just love her journey. I love her story and where she's came from to where she's at now. Yeah, I mean, they were trying to keep the ball up in the zone a little bit on us to try to get us up on top instead of staying down below. And so I think once we stayed on top of those balls with some of our slappers and even some of our right-handed hitters kind of stayed on top and rolled over some pitches, started getting them frustrated a little bit. And sometimes when you have a young pitcher like that, this is the biggest moment she's probably had in her career as a freshman. Those are the ones that you want to attack. And that we talked about that in our scouting report, meaning that if you get to her as a freshman, there's a good chance that she's going to leave a couple of pitches out over the plate. And Brittany got a pitch she left out over the plate, and she attacked it, and that's exactly what we talked about.